Awesome. Welcome back to the podcast.
Big up the CapCut editing team.
Today we've got the most special episode.
Yes.
Maybe, not quite.
It's
really, really special.
Special.
Little bit of a personal update. Then we're going to go into, which you'll have seen by the title, asking, there's quite a lot of prefaces here. The UK's
probably
under 20...
Let's just say junior. That's the actual
UK's
title is junior.
Junior men's physique dweeb.
Meek.
Yeah. UK's junior men's physique, the number
X place.
Yeah. The UK's X place, junior men's physique.
So when's this
Q&A.
coming out?
It'll come out on Friday, so just before you compete.
Shit.
Yeah. Which kind of cracks us nicely into the little updates. Hopefully, we're going to get loads of people watching this that don't know who we are and don't know what you're doing. So do you want to do a little explanation?
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah.
So I am how many days out? I don't get this right. With the days out, do I class today as a day out? So am I Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or am I
so.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Maybe it clocks over at like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's too
like
confusing
midday,
for
maybe
me. I'm
you're
like,
then 4 days out.
some days, like in my YouTube, I'm like, oh, I'm 4 days out. And then later on, I'm like, no, I'm not 5 days out.
Well, technically, you're competing about 11:30. So
Saturday
now...
isn't even a day.
Yeah.
So it should be to Friday. It should be to the day before.
If it's from 11:30 to the actual show, then today's what? Tuesday, 11:30. Wednesday, 11:30. Thursday, Friday. You're 4 days out
4
as of
days.
about 2 hours ago.
Jeez. Hopefully, as well, I'll still have an overall to compete in if all goes well.
4 days out plus
probably won't happen.
4 hours.
You never know.
Maybe.
It could do.
We'll see. Depends if the rig turns up.
Yeah, if it decides to lock it in.
I tell you what, though, you are a lot more. If you go back to the pod before this, Leo was pretty battered, but you're a lot more energized today.
Like, I'm like a new person this week. It's great.
Why is that, mate?
Because I've had food. Yes.
Leo's been eating 10 crumpets a day.
Nah, it's 10 crumpets from today.
Okay.
It was 6, and I had bagel thins, but just gone for crumpets now. So, when did the peak start?
I don't know, man.
No, so the peak actually started on not the Saturday just gone, the Saturday before, where we removed cardio, pushed my food up to, can't remember the exact number I said in last week's pod, but it was like around maintenance. I was probably still in a very small deficit. Steps were like taken from 15k to 8k, and cardio was completely removed, which, to be fair, did help.
Yeah.
A lot, but I still felt like I was battered. Like, I'm one of them. I was getting into my head like, am I battered, or am I just lean so I'm going to feel like shit, or am I telling myself I'm more battered?
Yeah.
I think it was a mixture of all three. I was probably telling myself a lot of the time I was more battered than I was.
You definitely seemed pretty battered last week.
Yeah.
At least probably up until like Monday, maybe, or Sunday. Well, I don't know what the last time I saw you was last week. You were pretty dead.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, because bro didn't wake up for legs on
Oh,
Friday.
yeah, you're right.
So it's Thursday. Yeah, I was pretty mangled then. But since Saturday, Saturday I had 400 carb. Sunday had 300 carb. No, 350 because it was a rest day. Then yesterday I had 400, and today I've had 450. So the actual, don't know what it's just in the camera. The actual start of the peak, to be honest, didn't really go to plan at all. Obviously, when you're peaking, you want to be going with foods that are going to digest well. So I've been having the same foods throughout the whole of prep. So we stuck with those foods in my like peak week meal plan sort of thing. But I had been noticing a few days before some pretty ropey digestion anyway. I thought it was chicken, so I swapped chicken for cod.
Why would it be chicken?
I don't know. But like, I spoke to Kez, and he was like, he always said to me that chicken stops being able to digest chicken later in his prep. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's that. I did take that out, and that did make a difference. But then I got a new whey, which was, again, I don't know. I was thinking, why have I gone with a different way? I probably should have just stuck with the
You
same
did get
one.
mega sold.
Yeah. Yeah, like Connor and Morgan on Ultraflex Desk were like, yeah, it's banging, man. It's so
Best
good.
way in the game.
But to be fair, it tastes unreal. So that was why I was like trying to tell myself it wasn't the way.
Yeah.
But it probably was the way. So Saturday, the digestion was okay. Then Sunday, I don't know why Sunday, it sort of just like built up and it was really, really bad. There's not any photos on Instagram. I'll put some on my story, but in my YouTube video that's coming out, little plug, there will be some on there. And from Sunday morning to Sunday night, I literally looked like I'd gained like 5 kilos of body fat.
It's so weird how much it can change, isn't it? When you get that lean.
It was like a mixture of bloating, and then obviously that like bloating of my digestive system was making me hold like a shit ton of water as well. So yeah. Sunday night I looked awful. Monday morning I woke up and my stomach was like, I remember saying to you in the car, I was like, yeah, I just don't feel.
Felt like it was protruding.
Yeah, I felt like my stomach was trying to force its way out of my stomach. So again, I was like, okay, should probably go back to my other way. Went back to the other way yesterday. It was improved again, the digestion, but it was still a bit ropey at night. So I was like, right, completely sack it off. Just go with the same 2 meals, but over 5. So I've got 2 of the same meal.
Oh, so you've taken out whey completely?
Meal. Yeah, whey I've just completely got rid of. And today, so far, has been good. But like yesterday, it was good. And it got to like 7 or 8 at night, and that's when it started being a little bit ropey after I'd had the whey.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's got to be the whey. And if it happens again tonight, I just think my body, if it does happen again tonight, what we'll probably have to do is we'll probably just have to bring food down.
It is strange,
like I just think because my food gets so low.
Yeah.
When I add food in, even if it's just because it's not even a lot, like from that fatigue removal sort of week to peak week, it was only 200 carb extra, which is a substantial amount, but not massively to make my stomach look like how it was. So hopefully today it'll be okay. Like right now I feel completely fine.
It's weird, like I think it definitely happens more when you get the leaner you get.
Yeah.
But like
definitely.
Even when I'm bigger, or even at this point right now, like some mornings I'll have whey and I'm like feel really good.
Yeah.
And other mornings I go to the gym.
Yeah, ugh. It's weird, isn't it? It's strange. But like in the off season, I can't think of any time where I've had digestive issues.
Really?
Like not in terms of like struggling to go to the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't get bloated. If anything, I'm going to the toilet probably too much. So probably still is a little bit of digestive issue, but not like I've never had anything like I had on Sunday. That was awful. So obviously I was very stressed. Head was like all over the shop, but I've reined it in now. And today I was like mega happy with how I looked.
Good.
Like, in the
I started laughing in the car.
I was just giggling. We were quiet in the car and I just like slapped my leg and started giggling because I was so happy. So yeah, that's
feeling good now.
Much an update. Yeah.
So what's again? Most people won't know. So you're competing on Saturday.
Yes.
In Coventry.
Yep.
Which should be pretty cool.
Yeah, never been.
I'm going to Coventry and probably gonna like get some food on the Friday, chill out, have a nice breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, can't wait to be sat backstage again with you, and we'll be like, "This is weird." Do you remember on that last YouTube video we like vlogged it? On my first show, I was like, "I don't want to go home now."
It is an odd experience. Most of you people watching this probably won't have been. And we're still like, in terms of the bodybuilding niche, is very much like not our niche right now. It's yours for actually doing it, but in terms of how many times you've actually been to a bodybuilding show, it's like
I'm very new to it.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
how many
I've
have you
probably
done
been
now?
to like, including the ones I've competed in, probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So still, every time I go, I'm like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
But it's strange. Like the weirdest experience, or when I feel weird, is actually when I'm watching.
Yeah.
Like I get nervous watching, even if I've got no relation to anyone in the show, or like I'm not friends with anyone in the show, or like I don't like associate. I'm still just like sat there like I'm really on edge. But my actual show days, I was like okay, I was fine. I just didn't really care.
It's funny that I don't think there's many other sports that's that separated.
Yeah.
Like if you play rugby or you play football, you probably enjoy watching football, and it's the same kind of experience. You watch it because you get the same feeling as playing.
Yeah.
But with bodybuilding, it's so the opposite, isn't it?
And with again, with like football and stuff, if you're playing football, you're on a football pitch like a few times in a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a full-time professional footballer, you're on a football pitch every day doing something.
You're training on the pitch.
Yeah. Whereas bodybuilding, right, you work, you do all this to be on a stage like, for most people, once every like 2-3 years.
It's probably the only
so
sport.
The actual event, you're not actually doing it.
Yeah, it's probably
that often at all.
Probably one of the only sports where the training for it, for the most part, isn't actually aligned with the thing that you're actually doing.
Yeah, it is a very weird sport, which is why for me, I don't like many people going to watch me who aren't involved or.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't. It's nothing against my family. I just don't want them to be there.
Yeah.
Because I know that they'll be thinking like what I was thinking when I first went. Oh, this is really weird. Like, it's strange.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be thinking like if they're okay and like.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I just want to go and just get it done and go home.
Yeah. And again, it's like you'll be on stage for 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5-10
max.
minutes. Like, especially men's physique. It's like you're on and off 5 minutes. So.
It's kind of an odd sport, but like I actually, if you're at all interested, I would recommend like just going to see what it's all about.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like you see some people on there, and you're actually like, what the fuck? Like, how do they look like that?
And once you get over the whole like, no one's wearing very many clothes.
Yeah. Once you look past,
everyone's strutting about tanned again without many clothes on.
And it smells.
Once that becomes a bit more normal and you get used to like being there, it's quite chill. Like, just sit down, watch it, and
it is a good sport to go and watch, even if you're not interested.
Yeah, I think it is probably joint with football though, the biggest sport where the crowd has like the most critique on the people actually doing it. I think that's so funny.
I hate it, right, when you're watching and every person has something to say about each class. I'm like, just let him compete. Like, everyone has to have an opinion, and I get it.
He's whack. Oh, he's gonna win easily. Like, he didn't win. It's an outrage.
Like when we watch it, we literally just go, "Oh yeah, looks cool."
Yeah.
Like, we're not critical or.
Yeah, I always find it quite funny because, again, my knowledge about the actual sport is pretty small.
Yeah, same with me.
So I'm always like, he looks the coolest.
Yeah.
Can he win, please?
Yeah. Like, whenever I try and predict it, it's always like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like, it's strange.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the best judge, let's put it that way.
And I have to say as well, when we watch, people are probably going to be like, oh, what are you on about? You just saying this because you compete in that. But men's physique, I think, is the best class to watch.
I enjoy watching
it's the most, like, aesthetic looking.
Yeah. I think that if you got more and more into watching the sport, then you might start appreciating like the bodybuilding side more and more.
Yeah.
But like the men's physique class was made initially, wasn't it, to be like the beach
look. Like,
beach. Obviously, it's not really now. Like, you wouldn't be going to the beach like you look at the minute.
No.
Unless you want to mog on everyone.
Yeah, and feel like shit on the beach.
Yeah. But it was initially made to be that like sort of
like something that's attainable.
Yeah. So when you go to watch, I think probably the reason why I enjoy it the most is it's like, it's a bit more aspirational for maybe where our goals are.
Yeah.
Where it's like you just want to look quite good and reasonably normal, but also look good.
I think as well with the actual like bodybuilding classes, like open. Is that working still?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a lot of like they're either like really good or like really, really bad. And I know I say we don't critique people. I don't wax them there, but I do think a lot of the time, like, people are, I don't know how to word it properly.
I know what you mean. I think people compete in men's physique either because it's the first time doing a show, so it's like the easiest thing to get into.
Really suited to it.
Yeah. And you like the things that suit you to men's physique is you got wide shoulders and you got a small waist and you've got good abs, which basically works for any class.
Yeah.
So
we
like,
always say this, don't we? Like,
Yeah.
people look down on men's physique, but I can guarantee you the people who are really good at men's physique, if they wanted to be a bodybuilder
yeah,
and maybe change their training a bit to bring up their legs, whatever, they'd probably still be
pretty good.
one of the better bodybuilders.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Which does annoy me when people talk down on it.
the bro that beat Jack, what's his name again? The guy that beat you last year.
Jack Hattersley.
Yeah, like, he looked nuts.
Yeah.
And he'd like I don't know what his legs look like, but
If he brought his legs up, or
like, if it was matched, then he'd do really well.
Yeah, I bet if he did junior bodybuilding last year, he'd still come top
Yeah.
3. Like,
Yeah.
people sort of look past that and go,
Men's physique.
men's physique. But in my opinion, it is the best class.
People the comparison between men's physique and bodybuilding is like, bodybuilding is like rugby and men's physique is
It's
like tag rugby.
Yeah, it's like the pussy version of it. Yeah.
I understand, but
I just think my opinion on it is that the people who are good at men's physique would also be as good, if not better, as
yeah,
the good bodybuilders,
Yeah.
in my opinion. a
that's a little rant for you.
4 days out.
And that's Saturday, and then post that you've got
Hungary.
a week. You're going to Hungary. Is it a week or 2 weeks?
It's 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
I think I've got like 11, 12, probably 11 days, I think, until I go to Hungary.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, just for the experience.
I know we thought about doing something last year, didn't we? Was it like Germany or something?
Yeah, I was going to go and do Germany, but I was so battered, I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it was my first prep. Like, I was like, I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah,
And
that
like,
should be
it's
a nice
strange
trip.
because even if I don't win on Saturday, I will probably, I'll be a little bit frustrated, obviously, because I want to win. I'm not one of these people who go, I'm just going to like improve on, like, no, I want to win. Like,
also, you'd be pretty disappointed if you didn't improve at all from last year.
Like,
I feel like that's sort of baseline.
the thing is, right, I know I'm gonna look better.
Yeah.
But if I got a worse place in my head, I'm like, I haven't improved.
Yeah,
Even though I have, but it's just like, I want to improve in terms of placing. I know it's not all about placings, but it kind of is at the end of the
I don't think there's nothing wrong with being competitive.
Yeah. So, but as I was saying, like, if I don't win that, I actually feel more confident going into the Hungary than I do the UK one, just because the standard is usually better.
Yeah.
In the UK shows.
So what is the show that you're doing? Is that like the main UK show?
In that federation, yes. I would say, like, WMBF is a better federation.
Yeah.
When's this going out again?
Friday.
No one's going to see it. I think
you're going to come last now, you've said
that. It's probably a more respected federation to win in.
Right.
But because they don't do a junior, I was like, well...
Is that what, like, Josh Croggan's got a pro card in?
So he's a pro in that federation. Like, for me, that's probably like the like long-term goal is to be a pro in that federation.
And is that what Kez just went pro in, or is that
so
something else?
he just went pro in that as well. But I think they both have their positives and negatives.
Yeah.
Like WMBF, like if you're going on like a world championship level in the PMBA or WMBF is a better standard.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. But the PMBA has more poses.
Right.
Like,
is that the one where you do the...
Like, you have side chest and that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that, but like WMBF, I don't even think you have like an ab shot. You don't have a front double.
Oh, really?
It's literally just like your front hand on hip, quarter turns, your rear relaxed. I think that's it.
So you're on off stage in like a minute.
Yeah. I don't think like you can really show your full physique. But again, it's their choice, isn't it? So yeah.
So yeah, that's the plan. Up to Hungary and then get
far.
Get scranning.
Yeah, I've already planned out a few places I want to go in Hungary. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And then it's time to get massive.
Yeah, and then tell yourself you're not going to diet for summer, and then diet for summer.
Diet for summer next year. No, I've accepted I will be dieting for summer.
I think I've got enough time to
be
sound. I think I'll.
Thing is, if we go away in start of July, I'll probably diet like start to mid of May for like 6 weeks.
Yeah. My only thing is, for me, let's say I finish this diet at 90, and by May, what's that going to be? October or
It's like
November,
7
December,
months, I
January,
think.
February, March, April, 7 months. Let's say I end up being high 90s. I'll only start looking better by the time I get to like 92 again anyway.
Yeah, so it's like, is it worth it?
If I lose 5 kilos, I'll probably just kind of look the same but smaller.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like,
It's a tough one.
I know I'll feel good at 100 or 98
The
or
higher
whatever.
90s, yeah.
That looks
I
good
think
there,
for us,
so.
we're very impulsive. We'll just decide on when we're there. Like, we're not that bothered about planning too far ahead. I don't think you need to plan too far ahead.
Just go with the vibes, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to do a little Q&A about, I don't know, being diced?
Yeah.
Okay. This is top of the head, so sorry if these questions are whack.
Yeah, our question boxes have not been good this week.
I've got 3 from HH.
Oh, yeah. Oh, H.H. pulling through again.
He's did one. I'm going to need to check my phone, though, for those questions.
Well, let's do these ones first that you
Okay.
on about. And then we'll pause and then...
Okay, so this is Q&A with, hopefully,
British champ,
maybe. We'll see. If all goes well,
please
if the judges don't watch this pod.
Yeah, after I've just sort of slated the Federation.
Okay, question number 1. How did it feel to get into, 6% body fat do you reckon you are?
I ain't got
7%? Something like that? How does it feel to get very, very peeled?
So the easy answer would be pretty freaking rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that enjoyable, but for the large part, it is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's only the last 3 weeks of the digging where you feel a little bit like pooey.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right, you feel a little bit shit. Things could be so much worse.
It's kind of part of the...
You could have no legs. Like, I was on about this to my dad the other day, right? I was like, oh, well, imagine you not being able to have this, and this when you want to eat it and stuff. He was like, well, I don't know if he knows this person, but like, basically they can't ever eat food.
Oh, really?
So everything has to be like blended
tube.
up. Yeah.
Really?
For the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, again, I don't think he knows this person. He just heard about it somewhere. Well, apparently all they crave is like a ham sandwich.
Really?
So like,
I just want to like chew a ham sandwich.
Yeah, things could be so much worse.
Yeah.
You've just sort of got to think it's for a few weeks. You're going to get to the other side of it.
Yeah.
But actually being lean isn't that bad. I think it's a mix of being lean on low food and high expenditure. That's when it's bad. Like, now I'm lean, but these past 2 days I've felt like a new person. Probably still don't feel normal, but it feels normal because I felt so shit.
So second question, at what point do you think, for a normal person that wasn't doing BB, what point would you have stopped dieting if you weren't doing a show?
It's a good question.
Thanks, man. Really taking my time to think about these questions.
I think it depends on the goal. So if I wasn't wanting to compete, I was just wanting to diet until I was like, okay, I look pretty cool, but I didn't want to feel like poo. Probably like when we got back from holiday, I still felt good.
Yeah.
Probably still felt good for like another 6 weeks after that.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say like the past like month has been a bit ropey.
Yeah.
So for me, when I sort of get below like 62.5 kilos, again, it's going to change person to person. But that sort of body weight is when I start feeling meh.
It's probably like sub, I mean, this is a complete guess, but probably like sub 9% body fat type thing.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you start getting hundreds of veins on your arms.
Yeah, and you're looking at yourself and you've got like midsection veins everywhere.
Yeah.
That's when you're a bit like, okay.
It might be cool the first time.
Yeah, but then after that, it's not that cool.
That's the other thing with dieting, right? I think most people don't see is you're always thinking you want to be as good as the last time you looked at yourself or the last time you thought you looked your best. So like if I look at myself now, because I'm like a bit flat and not had many carbs, I look at myself and think, oh, that's a bit whack. Like, but that's only in comparison to one reference point, which is like the point where I was like, oh, sick, this is the best I've ever looked.
Yeah,
which
you've got
was
to put
like a
everything
week
into
before.
context.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like up, down, up, down. Like yesterday we posed, I was like, oh my God, like I don't even want to look at myself right now. And then today I was gassed. Yeah. Like it can change so quickly.
Yeah. I say that because I was editing a reel and I was putting some like
footage,
B-roll footage over some rig clips, and the one that I put that one on, but at the time when I was filming it, I was like, that's not going anywhere, because I thought like it was a lot worse than it was.
Than it actually is.
Because I put that one on, and then I was like, oh no, I think I've got some better footage. So I was like scrolling back, and it was just getting like worse and worse. I was like, I swear when I was in this position, I thought I would look really good. So you're always like leveling up your expectations for how you think you should be looking.
Yeah, it's hard. I think as well, social media has a massive impact.
Yeah.
Like you're always comparing yourself to people. Like if it was up to me this week, I'd just delete Instagram. Yeah. But like I sort of need to be posting.
No, I was talking to someone about one of my clients, Josh. He was explaining how like when he first joined, he wasn't happy with where he was at. Yeah. And now he's got to the point where he's dropped about 10 kilos, something like that. And he was sort of saying, like, I've not got the stick poking me anymore, saying that, like, I'm not happy anymore. So it's then harder to motivate yourself to do it, to continue. And I was explaining where you got to try and create that future vision, which for you is the bodybuilding show.
That helps me get through. Like it's all goals. Yeah,
like it's actually so powerful,
goals,
isn't it?
That you really, really, really want to achieve. Like me at the start of this year, at the start of this prep, I was like, oh, this will probably be my last one ever. Yeah. Even if I don't win and whatever, I'll probably not again, but I will definitely compete again now.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
It's weird. Like you get these things in your head and you're like, for me anyway, with my personality, I'm like, if I want to do it, I've like got to. Yeah. It's got to happen. So.
Yeah. So for him, I ended up like trying to, like, open up his mind to what he could achieve. Yeah. Because I was saying, like, for his start, like, you won't mind me saying this, his start point was not ideal. Like, he'd have, you know, significant pints every couple of days.
Just wasn't.
He was about 100 kilos. He wasn't that happy with it, where his rig was at. And now he's got to that point. Now he's like kind of happy. And I was like, basically said to him, like, this whole transformation, if you keep pushing forward, you could have like one of the best transformations we've ever seen. Yeah. Because his start point wasn't ideal. The point that he could get to in the future will be like ridiculous. So you got to set some goals and open your mind to the possibilities.
I think we're good at that as well, with like understanding the client. Yeah. Like we're good at, I don't know, it's so hard to put it into words. We're good at like understanding where they want to be. Yeah. What they want to sacrifice, what they want to achieve, without like forcing things on them.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Like I remember when Big Keats was on about competing, and I said to him, I was like, don't do it.
Yeah, do you actually want to?
Like, seriously, like, it's not just a case of, I might just compete, like, for the fun of it. Like, if anyone ever asked me, I'd say don't do it unless your goals are, like, you really want to. Like, he was saying to me, like, straight away when he mentioned it, he was like, I'd like to compete, but I also really enjoy playing football. And I was like, well, don't do it then. Yeah. Like, you've played football all your life. You're good at football. And you play a decent level. Why would you sacrifice that for something? Yeah. And nothing against Keys. He's probably not ever going to be like a top level athlete. So it's like, he would be very good. He could definitely win shows. Yeah. But do I think he could be like one of the best in the world or whatever? Yeah. Probably not. So it's like, you've got to weigh up your
whether it's worth it.
Worth it.
I do think.
I think it would be worth it for him though. Like I do think it would be worth it if he didn't have other things in his life that he really enjoyed, like football, traveling.
Yeah, like realistically, if you tried to play football now,
I wouldn't be able to.
You get boshed about by everyone.
Yeah.
You'd probably pull a hammer.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work. So
yeah, so you get to a point where there's like too many sacrifices, isn't there? And that point will be different for
different people,
for everyone. So I guess the point to finish prep, going back to that question, varies a lot. For you, it's like 9-10% body fat.
Yeah.
For someone else,
I forgot about the question.
Yeah, no, good circling back.
Yeah, it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
But again, like I don't know if you're the same. You know, you were on about your client saying like he doesn't feel like he has that stick poking him anymore. Like for me, I get the opposite.
Yeah.
Like I get really happy with how I look, but then I'm like, I could be better.
Yeah, well, that's what you
this. I could achieve that.
That's so what you got to try and coach people to have.
It's a mindset thing,
kind of mindset, isn't it?
And again, I'm not saying I've just been like born like that. I think without sounding like arrogant, it's because I've like gone from looking like I've gone from never being in the gym to looking like pretty decent.
Yeah.
And that sort of is like fuel to the fire for me to make me want to do more and achieve like the best I can.
I think that mindset's good. I think there is a slight bit of it that's also bad.
Yeah, it can sort of then submerge you. And takes away any enjoyment. But again, I think I'm very good at not letting it take away from.
Yeah, you still enjoy the whole thing.
That off season, I just enjoy my life.
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing 85-90% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And also like trying to recognize the progress you're making in the short term.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to not be satisfied.
Yeah.
even outside of training with other stuff. I know for me, or when it went back to rugby or basically anything I'd ever taken seriously.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it would be like, I think I can do more.
Yeah.
I think there's more to push. I think I can work harder. I think I can.
Yeah, but sometimes you've got to actually sit down and be like, okay, look where you was a year ago, 2 years ago. Look where you are now.
I remember I was speaking to a rugby coach about that. I was like, I feel like I'm just missing something.
Yeah,
like,
just coasting.
I need to be doing something else. And he was like, I mean, you've gone from in 2 years never playing second row, which is my position in rugby, to playing in National League.
Exactly. So it's
a
big thing.
Fair
enough.
enough.
It's a big achievement.
So you do have to look at your progress rather than just like you want that future, but you also want to be present.
Yeah.
I know I do it in the coaching as well, like so much. I'm always like
want to be
tinkering
there,
trying to be a better coach and trying to make my content better and all that, which is good. But sometimes you got to like be.
It can
aware.
drown you, and it can have negative effects then with stress and.
Or even just like social life. Like I obviously value my social life. I know sometimes, especially with work, I'll like think I'm not doing enough, and
it's like me whenever I go on a night out, I'm like, what am I doing? I just get a realization like, what am I doing?
I think sometimes that is like,
fine. Like it's fine to think that. Yeah, it is like, okay, as it's actually benefited me.
Yeah. But you just got to pick the right moments, don't you?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to just be like, okay, have I enjoyed myself? Yes.
Yeah.
Has it ruined all of my life? No.
I don't know if this is going to be relatable to like people watching this or not.
I think like we're very deep thinkers, aren't we?
Yeah.
Very, very deep.
Like, I think as well that doesn't really come across in our personalities.
No.
On a normal day-to-day conversation, like, I don't think that comes across.
Chat wass all the time.
Like we are. I don't know what the word is, but.
Yeah, it's strange because we've had so many conversations that have been on ridiculously deep levels, haven't we? Obviously, we're not going to do that on the pod, but even like after we film the pod and we're talking about the coaching, where we want to take it, things like that, it gets pretty deep.
Yeah,
and it's serious. So
it's life stuff, man.
Yeah, but I think again we've got a really good balance of the 100% on, 100% off.
It's the key line is just knowing when to turn off, and always the majority of the time you're on, and then knowing when to turn off and making sure that is like
it's key to the perfect balance.
Yeah. What a good pod this is.
This is quality. This is getting deep.
Do I have any more questions for you? I don't think so. Do you want to go on to the IG questions?
Yeah. We'll
Right, I'll
quick
pause
pause
this
and
and
then
I'll get
we'll be
my
back.
questions up. Go ahead. What's HH's question?
Right, so HH has asked, would you rather die right now or be immortal? Does he mean mortal
Wait, he's asking, would I rather die now
or be immortal?
or live forever?
No, because living forever would be mortal, wouldn't it?
No. If you're a mortal human, you're a normal human. If you're immortal, you
I
don't
thought it
die.
was Oh, right.
I think. Am I being stupid?
No, I think I am. Surely I am. 2 versus 1. We'll just go with that. So would you rather die right now or live forever? Live forever.
Surely that's a really, really obvious question.
Yeah, well, I don't want to die, so...
HH messaged me, he was like, oh, I'm going to get so deep with these questions, man. I think I'd rather live forever, probably.
Yeah, I don't really see any...
There's going to be the usual ebbs and flows of life, but...
Yeah, like, you're going to lose your family and stuff, but if you're always alive, you just keep having more families.
Just keep having more kids,
Yeah.
man.
No, I'd definitely rather...
My family is going to be the whole world's population.
I just don't get the question, HH. I really don't. Does immortal have a different meaning to what we think it does?
I don't think so. Just search it quick.
Yeah.
I think immortal is you live forever.
Yeah, immortal, living forever, never dying or decaying.
Decay.
So
you don't get older. Would I be this age forever?
Yeah,
That'd be freaking
well,
awesome.
100%.
That'd be so good. Maybe I'd go back like 2 years, back to the anti-receding hairline.
Yeah,
that'd be ideal.
I'd probably go back to when I was like 16, 17. It'd be great. Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to die right now.
Yeah, HH, I'll be immortal, please, if you're offering.
I don't really mind the thought of living forever. I can't really think of many negative effects of that. You might get a bit bored.
Yeah, you'd be omnipotent, man.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And one coaching in 1 million years would be,
it'd be
the moon.
Yeah, exactly. Which you probably would be on the moon. So. Right. So
next cue.
Rather be immortal. Should we go with mine next or bees?
You can go with bees.
She's asked 2. How much out of 10 do you like snus?
And what's the next question? And what's the second one?
Benefits of having snus. So we'll tie these in together.
Well, Beatrice, thanks for asking.
10.
Well, snus is nicotine. If you want to get sciencey about this.
Yeah, come on, let's get sciencey. If she wants us to get sciencey, we can get sciencey.
There is
up in this joint
genuine evidence of this, right? So there's something called neural plasticity.
Yeah.
Which once you're about 24, 25, starts to reduce. And basically neuroplasticity is your brain or your nervous system's ability to create new pathways in your brain, which help change kind of how you interact with the world, change your emotions, change your things. So basically when you're a kid, you can learn really quickly.
Yeah.
And you can also adapt to different things happening really quickly. So that's why when if people have something really bad happening to them when they're a kid, it affects them a lot throughout the rest of their life. Or if you're really happy as a kid, it'll affect you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And nicotine boosts neuroplasticity. So actually, if you're trying to learn something, potentially might not be a bad option. So, yeah, basically, it could be brilliant.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking about.
Anything in moderation. That's my motto.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've finished my exams now. I'm basically like all knowing at everything I do, so don't need it, man.
Never have it. But yeah, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't.
Yeah.
Same
Simple
with
as that.
alcohol. Same with recreational drugs, which
Also,
I've never touched.
Could be wrong. Not done too much research on this, but if you smoke, then it's probably quite a good option to swap to
nicotine.
Snus.
Snus. Same with vaping.
Surely it's more healthy.
Yeah, so 100. There is, if you search on the internet right now, right, if we were to search it, the actual negative effects of snus, There actually isn't any.
Really?
Other than potential over an incredibly long period of time, gum recession.
Really?
Other than that,
would you rather...
People go, oh, it gives you cancer. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
There is no research
Tell you
anywhere
what,
that
Mr.
says...
Huberman, Andrew Huberman, I'm speaking to you, mate. You take it, and you're the bloody neuroscientist
how many
beast.
people take nicotine?
Yeah.
I wouldn't vape.
No.
I wouldn't smoke because of all the extra
Yeah,
toxins.
I'm against that.
Are in that. But if you're gonna go for one of the options, snus is gonna be.
Yeah. Would you rather take snus or smoke cigarettes? Definitely snusage.
And again, if we were hypothetically using it a lot, then we don't take drugs.
No.
Don't drink. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in since holiday. So we were saying that, what's that, 3-4 months?
Yeah.
Look, pick your poison and roll with it.
Yeah. And get your neuroplasticity going.
Yeah, there is a lot of cognitive benefits. So
I'm pretty sure I'm not capping with that. I could be making it up, but
there is definitely
I'm
cognitive
pretty
benefits to nicotine.
Yeah.
So you've got to weigh up your options. Again,
good question, B. Thanks.
Hypothetically, so just saying. This is a question from me to you.
Because
when I saw it when you put it on and we were in Rotherham, so I thought it tied in quite well. Top 3 worst places in the UK.
So that's a great question.
I've not been to that many bad places, I don't think, but I could probably list 3 off the top of my head.
So I'd say, you remember when we went to Bossman's shop in Rotherham the other day, trying to look for monsters?
Are we going to go 3rd is the worst? No.
Yeah.
Third
this is
a tier list. 1st is the worst.
Yeah. So this is third worst. That little corner that we went to in Bossman's shop in Rotherham.
No, we can't be that specific.
That was horror.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
Yeah, true. I don't know the actual...
I'm just going off my personal experiences here.
What's it called, the shop? Thyber.
Oh, you can't name and shame me.
So wherever that is in Rotherham.
That was pretty horrendous, can't lie.
But there is nice parts of Rotherham.
Yeah.
Like there actually is...
Yeah, no hate on Rotherham. Like, Ultraflex.
We literally go there to go
Ultraflex sauna. That's a gorgeous place in there.
Ultraflex red light district sunroom.
Yeah.
Sun beds.
Brilliant. Go on then, you can take second worst.
So again, I've not been to that many places that are renowned to be shitholes. But one place I really didn't like when we went was, remember when we went to what's the gym called? When we went to see Kez. Musclebound.
Musclebound in Bradford.
That was a dive. Like that was not it didn't seem like the nicest of places anyway. Again, it could be lovely, who knows? But from my personal experience,
I wouldn't say lovely.
people were very rude.
Yeah, it was pretty rogue, wasn't it?
It was just a very strange place.
Yeah.
Very, very strange place.
I mean, our general description of not very nice is like dirty. And
like rubbish.
Feel a bit like
you're going to get stabbed. And I felt like that
worrying.
in the gym. I was a bit like,
yeah.
I don't feel like that welcome here.
Yeah.
But the gym's good, so.
Good gym.
Didn't actually have any bad experiences.
It's basically really good.
But
no.
I just didn't like the place.
Yeah, that gym is massive as well, isn't it?
It's a really good gym.
Yeah. First worst place in the UK.
It's hard for us because without sounding like arrogant, we live in like a very, very, very nice place.
That being said though, you know, like, have you seen those ratings before? When they do it online, it's like top 10 worst places in the UK. I swear Donny's like always really
top
high.
3. Donny's always top 3.
I don't think it's that bad.
Doncaster, like city centre, isn't that nice, but I don't walk through there thinking, "Oh my god."
No,
there's definitely places in Donny, like some of the councils, whatever the estates, are very bad. Don't get me wrong, but we've just never been.
No.
Well, the actual city centre of Doncaster
it's all right.
It's not bad at all.
I
think it's overhated massively.
Yeah, I agree. They've just put that new food court in there as well. That's decent. Have you ever been?
Is it Wool Market or something?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, no,
That's
not
all
been,
right.
But
some decent scran.
Yeah, like Doncaster, I think is really, really overhated.
I agree.
And the suburbs of Doncaster, so where we live, are some of the nicest places I think in the country.
Yeah.
Like the village, like Harwell and Everton, like basically one village.
It's nice.
I
It's cutesy,
genuinely don't think I've ever been to a nicer village.
man. Very demure.
Yeah. It's very, very nice where we live, so we're
Yeah.
lucky. So top one where we've actually been. I remember going to Skegness on a school trip. That was really bad.
I tell you what, beaches in the UK
Yeah,
just do
bad.
not
Unless you're
slap.
down south,
Yeah,
like they actually are nice. Like where I go on holiday with my parents quite a lot.
yeah,
That's really nice. I love it there.
Yeah.
But, like the east coast of England,
yeah.
like Grimsby and not nice. Scunthorpe being there, that's not very good, very
No,
nice.
I think generally like UK cities or town, like big town, not quite cities but big town,
Yeah, pretty.
are generally not great because they're
No.
they're like big and they used to maybe 30 years ago be in the heyday, and gradually they've just not had enough money
Yeah.
to.
Can you think of a town where you've been to where there's like not a part of it that's like
No, it's just
even like Retford? You're like, oh,
yeah, it just doesn't happen, does it? But maybe that's the same everywhere.
I think it must be. It's just weird, isn't it? How, yeah.
Anywhere that doesn't get enough funding.
And we're not
it's, like,
hating on
bound to-
anywhere here. Like if you live in any of these places,
No.
not hating, just from experience.
I hate, man.
I wonder
yeah.
what actually is the top one.
Yeah, search it. This can be our worst place in the UK.
There must
is-
be places in like suburbs of like Birmingham. What is the roughest town in the UK?
So what, Theo was telling me that there is some parts in Birmingham that are, that are really
Birmingham
not
is
good.
Pretty bad, I think. So, what is the roughest town in the UK? It's called Redcar.
Where's that?
Guess
London.
no, North Yorkshire.
Really?
Yeah, so same. Well, not same county as us, but
Same, different.
county. It's extreme. Crime rate is extremely high.
Big up the man.
170 crimes per 1,000 people.
You're
That is a
joking.
lot. Yeah, but again,
Redcar, I've never heard
in
of it.
terms of North Yorkshire, that's 105% higher than the North Yorkshire average.
Yeah. That's so weird because like there's so many places in Yorkshire that are really nice, but also so many places that aren't.
Yeah, Yorkshire's a very
Like you've got
strange
like
place.
Harrogate and all those places that
Yeah,
are
they're
like
like
unreal.
really posh.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then it just like it just disperses and goes
Yeah,
really
just-
downhill.
yeah. But in general, Yorkshire is a great place.
Yeah. You should come and
Go to
jump
Donny.
on the pod or something.
Yeah, come
maybe.
on the pod. Yeah,
Should we leave it there?
I've heard Luton's really bad as well.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a very, very bad place. Never been other than to the airport.
Like was Guy saying.
No, I just heard loads of people say it's bad.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's known for being rough.
Don't be rough, kids.
Yeah,
Just go to the gym instead.
but yeah.
I think that's it for the cues, is it?
Questions. Oh no, I had one
Oh, nice.
off a guy who goes to.
Oh, yeah.
I think he goes to Bordeaux Gym.
Yeah, let's cook.
I feel like his name's Spencer, or his second name's Spencer. So I'm really sorry if I see you and I've got your name wrong. But his Instagram name is pen.spencer, which I'm guessing is some sort of joke. Which we're not down with the kids, so I don't know what it means. But best way to deal with losing ambition whilst cutting brackets draining af.
That's interesting because most people find it easier to maintain ambition through a cut than.
Yeah, because there's a physical end goal inside.
And also you're seeing changes like really, really regularly.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, I mean, it depends how much body weight you've lost, but I think sometimes if you are dieting, you've not got a specific date that you need to aim for, then maybe you do need to drop into a little maintenance phase,
Yeah.
have a little
Or-
refresh and then go again.
Or on the other hand, maybe you're being too loose.
Yeah,
Maybe you need to set yourself a date.
yeah,
You'd be like, okay, I want to be this body weight or this sort of
Yeah.
level of body fat by this date, just to spur you on and give you that drive.
I'll tell you what I find for me is that my motivation is mostly dictated by the actions that I'm like tracking.
Yeah.
Because if I start to like drop off on some of the minor things, I ended up like goes through the phase and eventually I'm dropping off some of the bigger things and
Yeah.
then I'm basically
It's
not
like a
dieting.
catastrophe.
Yeah. So I think for me, I don't know if this will apply to everyone, but it definitely has done from what I've seen through people that I've coached, is like actually try for a week, just start tracking more stuff
Yeah.
as opposed to
And be
less.
more net dialed in with it.
And don't try and make it more and more easy. Like actually like make more of a thing of it.
Yeah.
Because if you're understanding what's happening with sleep and nutrition and all that sort of crack, for me, and I know for a lot of other people, you start getting the motivation back.
Definitely.
I think I've seen it quite a few times where people have, been asking for, they want the sessions to be shorter, and then I've not got time to do the cardio anymore, or I want my steps to be lower, or I need changes around my training to train twice a week instead of 4 times or whatever. And as soon as you keep making those changes over and over again, you gradually just like going into this pit of unmotivation.
Yeah.
So where you can, try to keep things as good as possible, even if it's a little bit hard to do that.
Yeah.
I think that kind of maintains things.
Yeah, I think the main thing for him, based off this question, is actually just take like half an hour, sit down, reassess your goals.
Yeah.
Set some goals if you haven't got any, and then sort of reverse, like we always say, like reverse engineer from there. Like, I'm pretty sure he's at college, this guy. So sort your training out, sort your nutrition out, but make it fit your lifestyle, and make things as easy as it possibly can be. And another thing, he's like probably like 17, 18, still so young. Like, don't pile loads of pressure on yourself that you've got to be looking a certain way. And again, this is probably from social media. Yeah. Right? Like, this guy follows me. He's probably, even if he looks at my thing, he's probably gonna be like, oh, fucking hell, like, why can't I look at that? But you've got to remember, I've been training since I was 16. Yeah. It's like my job. I'm able to put all my effort into this. Yeah. And I know for a fact he's definitely in a better position than what I was. Yeah. At his age, in terms of like knowledge and what's the word, like adherence. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know how his nutrition looks and his training in depth, but yeah, that's probably what I'd say. Just reassess your goals and reverse engineer it. And if you
say
help,
he's feeling drained as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So outside of the gym and stuff, has he got everything set up correctly or in the most optimal way for him to get to his goals? Yeah. So if he needs help, then you feel free to just message us.
Or just speak to you in the gym.
Yeah, you can speak to me in the gym if I'm there, yeah.
So one of the biggest things for me as well is, like, I get for me that it's, I think it's powerful to understand where your limitations are for the current like physique that you're in. Yeah. Because I know, probably from just understanding training and all that more, that certain physiques aren't attainable right now. Yeah. So from a goal setting perspective, set something ambitious but also realistic. Yeah. Like, I know that if I dieted to how lean you are, I wouldn't be like, I'd get there and go, oh, well, I'm just skinny.
Yeah, like, why have I done this?
So you need to be understanding of what's actually possible.
Your situation.
And that then starts setting those goals more long-term, and you start looking to the future more, and you start being more invested because you're investing in that long-term thing, rather than thinking, I need to get to this point in 12 weeks, and it's unrealistic. And then you get into 10 weeks, you're 2 weeks away from your goal, and you're like, well, I'm miles off. Well, of course you are, because that goal was so unrealistic.
Honestly, for the younger people, it's social media.
Yeah, it makes it tough, doesn't it?
Your brain, and like all these like Gymshark influencers and stuff. Like, yes, they all look good, but they're probably all like very good genetically. Yeah, and they probably all work pretty hard as well. Yeah, but like, you got to think. I mean, he's obviously not going to see this, but people like, what's his name? Who's got the Lambo Urus? Yeah, James Beardwell. Yeah, right. Fuck me, that guy has been blessed with some very good genetics. Yeah. He's still not, people think he's like some genetic elite. He is not.
I tell you what as well, unless you got something else.
No, I was just going to say, I watched his YouTube video the other day, and it sums it up fucking perfectly. He shows like a day in the life. Like, he wasn't tracking anything. Yeah. Like, he was just all over the place. Yeah. If you go and watch that, it really puts it into perspective. Like, this guy's been... He's still worked hard, obviously, with his social media and stuff, and he's got to put some effort into the gym to look how he is. Yeah. But in general, people could put in 10 times the work he does, but unfortunately, probably still won't look as good as he does in that time frame. Yeah. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I think there's two other things on that as well. First of all, in terms of these people that you're seeing, Like, I've seen a lot of these people in person, and they're not as impressive in person as they are on social media.
Yeah, you've got to remember, people are good at...
But it's the same with you. Like, okay, if I would just
got my
stood
top
here,
off here now today, I would look nothing like my Instagram.
yeah, but
nothing like it.
But your Instagram is representative of, you know, what you look like. You don't edit your photos. That's what you look like in that lighting, which is also representative of how you're going to look on stage, which at the end of the day is like what you're doing this for. So it's aligned. But with these people, they've got good genetics, but they're not necessarily the biggest person in the world. But with that, with good genetics and good shape on camera in good lighting, you just look sick.
Yeah.
So understand that, like, it might not be attainable for you to look like that on a photo, but you can definitely look and feel good in person and like.
This actually just really does wind me up quite a lot, because you know, like, all these people who like this. Let's just take that James again, for example. And again, if he ends up seeing this, which is obviously not gonna, it's not us like cussing him.
He went to Loughborough actually.
Yeah, but like, people think these guys are like unreal physiques, right? You go to one natty bodybuilding show, they would do absolutely terrible. I guarantee if James Beardwell turned up to my show on Saturday, he'd probably come last.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like, he looks good on Instagram.
Yeah.
That he's obviously got a good physique. I'm not saying he's not. He's got a very good physique, but they get, because they're so good at like advertising themselves and building that like personal brand, and they're entertaining. Like, the guy is funny. He's like entertaining to watch. But in terms of actual gym knowledge and how good of like a bodybuilder they are, they're not good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's more.
That sounds so like bitter, but like,
I do get it.
It is true. Like, it does annoy me because people look up to these people so much.
Yeah.
When really they should be looking up to the people like who aren't that as genetically gifted, but put like serious hard work in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no. I think the other thing with a lot of people that you see on Instagram is sometimes you'll see what they're doing and start thinking, that certain things are like the be all and end all that you should be doing, when actually they're missing out on quite a lot of stuff that you should be doing, like tracking nutrition. That would be the first thing that you could do that maybe you saw James not doing.
Yeah. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but his audience, right, they follow him because he looks good.
Yeah.
And then he's setting that as an example.
Yeah.
And then people think, how come he can look like that and he gets to eat like that, and I do all this hard work and I'm not getting anywhere near the results he is?
Yeah.
So I wish sometimes those kind of people would just be a little bit more like, at least explain.
Yeah. I think the other thing to note is a lot of the people that you see, and you see the daily actions, they might have been uber dialed before they've grown big on social media.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. Like, James, I bet when he was at Loughborough, he was pretty dialed.
Yeah. But it's easy to see that and then not take away what you need to do. Like, whether it's fitness or whether it's a business or whatever, like, take business as the example here. You're not going to get really rich by spending your whole time on yachts. No. Which is what you see the rich people doing. So you think that's what you should be doing. You only see the good
parts of their life.
Yeah.
And some of them are really honest about it.
Yeah.
Like, the best example for me of like fitness influencer is Mike Thurston.
Yeah.
Like, in his videos, he shows himself going out having a good time, but the guy never misses with his nutrition when he can, and he always trains no matter what.
Yeah. I like how honest he is as well.
Yeah, he's so honest.
And he says, like, he was saying, like, obviously he doesn't vlog some days because he's just sat at his laptop, like, working on his thing.
Like, you got to remember, when you see his life, you're seeing the best bits of his life.
Yeah, it's the highlights, isn't it?
And he probably has a lot of really good bits in the week. But there will be days, like you said, where he's literally just sat at a laptop working. Yeah,
so I guess the takeaway is sometimes at the start of your journey, you got to be more dialed than maybe what you see to get to that point. And then it's a lot easier to maintain.
And have a bit more
it's so easy to maintain the position you're in compared to actually get there in the first place. So you're going to have to put more work in to get there in the first place.
Yeah. Good question, that.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
We did go off on a bit of a tangent, but hopefully it sort of puts it into context for any sort of younger viewers.
Yeah.
Like these influencers and stuff that you're probably looking up to, they're only showing like what they deem as stuff that's interesting to other people.
Yeah. So basically, get just #dialed, and you'll make
see
progress,
results. Man. And don't compare yourself to these people. You don't.
Yeah.
You're not meant to be in their position yet.
Yeah. Big thing. Hope
1
you
hour,
enjoyed the
2
pod.
minutes. We were
really
sat here
long
an hour ago before we started thinking, what are we going to talk about today? Oh my
It always
God.
goes that way. So hopefully you enjoyed the pod.
Waffle Kings, come on.
Forgot to say subscribe at the start, and there's probably about 3 people watching now.
That I actually think that's been probably one of my favourite pods.
Yeah, that was really nice, man.
Yeah, good chat.
Yeah.
Honest chat.
We'll
Keep the questions
see
coming,
you-
guys, please, whenever we put a box up.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, goodbye. Ciao.
Bye bye.